the gun. New beam with a drum, laser gon' track him if he try to run. Spin from the night to the sun. Shorty, she on me, she slap with her tongue. I'ma flock it for fun. Fuck a little token, no, we getting busy. Barry gon' pack him like who moving effie. Had him the spotlight, just pass me the city. No gon' support me, he clapping it with me. I don't get it. Pigs asking, I don't know who did it. Body fuck right, then I might have to tip it. Sight, I might just slap that I'm dipping. Doing that show if I can't bring my grip in. Like, I'm on the G with a Smith. It ain't no one-on-ones. If the heat Jimmy get beat with the gun. New beam with a drum, laser gon' track him if he try to run. Spin from the night to the sun.
Welcome back to WSU Radio, the #1 college radio station all over New York City with your host Intro.kev. Today we have a very special guest, KALIQ in the building.
From Brooklyn.
Brooklyn?
Yeah, niggas from
Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, Brooklyn. I get mixed up with the Bronx, Brooklyn. My fault.
Nah, I already know. A lot of people confused. That's why I wanted to come up here so everybody know. Like, I'm from Brooklyn.
What part of Brooklyn you're from?
From the Star.
Okay, so you're a part of like the whole group with Melvoni and Marzo and them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all from Brooklyn. So how did you guys meet? How did you guys like all that? Like, let's start from the beginning. How you guys met? How you guys got into the rapping? What inspired you to start rapping?
Alright, so we all met from school. We all went to the same school together. What you call it? They a grade younger than me, but like for me, our school had like the same lunch together, so we all have the same lunch together and shit. We see each other in the hallways, we be with each other after school, we be getting high and shit together. So that's how we met. What you call it? My son, me and Mel, we fake started rapping around like the same time. Like around that time, like a lot of young rappers started getting some buzz in the city and stuff. So like we just looking at them like we could do the same shit for me. So we both started rapping. He took it a little more serious than me. Like from when we both started rapping, he took it a little bit more serious than me. And then once I seen him start going like somewhere with it, I started taking this shit serious myself because I'm like, could both do this shit. And then I think Marzo, he started rapping after us, like a little bit after, but like not too long after. But yeah.
What advice has Mel gave you to the rap? You know, he's the one that took it serious first. Like, so looking back at you guys, and now you guys are taking it serious. Like, what advice has he given you throughout?
He just be telling me like how to like maneuver through all the like politics and shit that come with the rap and shit. I just be staying to myself and shit. He that type of person too. He be staying to ourselves and shit. For me, he just be telling me I gotta keep going with this shit. Like, can't let up, can't give up on this shit.
I don't know. Always ask this question when there's like the group and all that. What's the funniest story you guys have together?
Nah, it's too much.
It's too much.
It's way too much.
Way too much?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of one, but like, nah, it's just too much.
So
I can't even name it.
Not one studio session when you guys like just.
Nah, it was a point in time where like in the studios and shit, whoever fell asleep first was getting drenched with water. Feel me? Like, so those moments was funny and shit where you see a nigga fall asleep, just don't whole bucket of water on that nigga. Feel me? But yeah. It's way more funny and shit than that, but
and
studio shit, that's up there.
Do you remember your first studio session, like how it was like when you first came in, actually taking it serious, getting the booth, like, all right, let me just start making these hits then?
Alright, my first studio session, that shit was kind of like frustrating because like I walked into the booth thinking like I had some shit in my head, and then I walked into the booth. And come out how I wanted it to. So I was ready to just give up rapping. I was like, nah, fuck this shit. Because, like, the way it pictured in my head, it didn't come out nothing like that. So, but then after that, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to just keep practicing. It's my first time and shit. So I just kept going back. And I was just getting better every time I went.
And as you practice, what did you focus on more? Like, was it the flow or what you was actually saying on the lyrics? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think is important to you? To get down right.
At first, what I was saying, like the lyrics, that was what was most important to me. The lyrics and shit, like make sure my shit got substance and shit. Cause I be hearing a lot of niggas they don't really be saying nothing. So that was my focus. But later on, like more recently, my focus has been like the delivery shit. Cause like now, you could say the best shit in the world, but if you're not saying it right, it's not going. People not gonna gravitate to you. For me, so I'll be focusing on delivery, how I can make the shit sound just right. For me.
All right. And what do you think so far has been your best verse that you put out?
I don't know. My best verse not even.
Out.
You said out. You said out though. You said that I put out. My best verse not even out yet though.
Not even out.
So far, I don't know.
All right. And when I look at like rappers, like they always say, "Oh yeah, my best verse isn't out." Then right. So what makes you like, I don't want to drop my best shit out yet? You know what I'm saying? Like, if your best verse is not out, why you just haven't decided like, oh, I want to drop it right now?
It's not even that. It's just like niggas go to the studio so much, niggas just keep getting better for me. So like. Every time I go to the studio, I make some shit that I just be like, nah, this shit, it right here for me. So, like, in a couple weeks, the song I'm talking about right now, that shit not even gonna be the best verse no more. It's gonna be a whole new song that's the best verse for me.
Right. And with the rapping, like, you know, the most important thing about a rapper is the name. So, how did you get the name KALIQ? Who gave it to you, or you gave it to yourself?
My mom gave me this name. This is my name.
Real name?
Yeah, this is my name, feel me?
Okay.
I used to just think of shit that I could like, feel me? I was gonna be Leaky, feel me? That's what my mans called me, Leaky and shit. But I was like, nah, too many niggas name that shit sound too like regular for me. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep my regular name. I used to experiment and shit, but I'm like, nah, all this shit sound corny. I'm gonna just keep my real name.
A lot of people, not a lot of people be putting their real name out there and saying as their rap name. You know, a lot, especially like all these upcoming Brooklyn bronze drill artists and stuff like that. They'll have like stage names and stuff like that. Like I think you're one of the few like that actually has your name in the. Like, that's like very unique for you as like an artist coming up. Like, cause when you think about it, like when you think of like real first names, like you got like the Justin Biebers and that stuff like that. Now you got KALIQ and saying like that. When people bring up KALIQ, like you know that's him.
Yeah, I would say the same shit. Cause like one day I was like, nah, I gotta change my name. I'm thinking of new names and shit. I'm thinking of new names. I'm thinking of mad other rappers like from the towns everywhere else. Nobody got their real name, but then same time I'm trying to think of some shit I can't think of none. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna be one of them niggas with their own name.
And speaking about some of your music, you know, your recent biggest hit right now being played everywhere, Talking to Town.
Yeah, word.
Alright.
Niggas gotta go check that out, man. Shit on YouTube and shit.
Right, that's been posted everywhere. So I want to know how you made that song, like how did you come up with it and all that.
Alright, so boom. I'm dropping shit for me, like, and my shit getting numbers and shit for me. It's getting a couple numbers for me. So like, it's some shit on Instagram called Talking to Town show for me.
Yeah.
And then like my numbers was like, I'm like, why the fuck I'm not being posted for me? Like why am I not being posted on the channel for me? They like, well, they didn't really say nothing. I'm just like, why I'm not being posted on the channel? So then I just went in the booth one day, and then I put this beat on from a producer I be fucking with. His name, Girl Next Door. What you call it? I put a beat on. Me and the bros, we just high and shit in the stool. We just high. I just made a track before that. That shit had niggas hyped up and shit. So I'm like, nah, I gotta go and make some next shit for me. Then I just go in. I'm like, I'm just catching the vibe. I'm like, yeah, it ain't no one-on-ones. If the heat chamber get beat with it, and I just keep going with it, for me. And then I freestyled that whole shit though. That shit off the top. The whole time in the booth, I'm just like, alright, yeah, switch the flow now, for me. I'm just saying shit for me.
Right. And why do you feel like you're the talk of the town now?
I don't know. Like everybody trying to figure out. Like it's a lot of like questions about me. For me, like a lot of niggas trying to figure out shit about me. For me, that's what I'm saying. Like at the same time, a lot of niggas listen to my music. So like, for me, I'm like, yeah.
I know, cause when I was like mentioning people, oh, I'm bringing KALIQ. That's why I got the confusion. People were telling, oh, he's from the Bronx. He's like K Fox mans, but I was like, nah, I don't think that. I think they just made that song. Like they mans, but they made that song. That's why a lot of people get the confusion with the Bronx and Brooklyn. And now you bring it back. You know, I'm not saying Bronx got it, but you're one of the few people that's actually bringing it back to Brooklyn, where it all started, the drill. You feel like?
For me, I'm not really like, niggas is like the Bronx got it, and people saying Brooklyn got it. I'm not really like trying to even like focus myself in that competition. For me, I'm just like
in your own lane.
I'm in my own shit. For me, like I'm from Brooklyn, so I'm gonna always put on for Brooklyn. For me, and that's it.
All right, growing up in Brooklyn, I want to know, like, what do you think was the hardest life lesson you ever learned? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, like, you just can't trust niggas. For me, like, niggas just that's really the main thing. Like, looks could be deceiving. For me.
And all the kids that's, you know, besides that, all the kids that's looking up to you and want, you know, trying to rap like you, trying to be like you, trying to come up to you, take pictures with you and stuff like that. What advice do you want to give to those kids that like look up to like all your success that you've been doing right now?
I tell them just chase their dreams. For me, go after what you passionate about. For me, like the corny thing to say would be stay in school. I'm not. Y'all do what y'all want to do. For me, if you're passionate about something, chase your dream.
Right. And look, now you're in speaking about school, you're in a university, and once you got getting interviewed in the college radio, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a full circle, you know what I'm saying?
Like, word, nah. There's nothing wrong with school to me. I wanted to go to school. For me, but
so, was music always your passion then?
Yeah, since I was like 4, I used to be hanging out with my dad and shit on the weekends and shit. And he used to joke. He used to be like, yeah, you're going to be the youngest rapper. You're going to be the youngest famous rapper. But I didn't really start rapping at that time. He just used to say that shit because we used to be in the back listening to music. I used to know all the words to the songs and shit. So he used to run with that. But then later along time, after I linked up with Mel, he started making music and shit. That's when I started taking serious.
So, who were some of the artists, you know, you was growing up listening to?
I used to listen to Kanye.
I mean,
He nice. I used to listen to Drake.
okay, well, Kanye and Drake, so I want to know what's your opinion on which one's better, Donda or CLB?
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I only listen to CLB. I didn't really listen to Donda, that shit. I didn't listen to that shit. I ain't been on some other shit for me.
Alright, and speaking about Kanye, you know, his snippets, like his samples of his old music being used in this drill scene and all that. And speaking about samples, what are some of your favorite samples? And also like to know, like, if you could tell a producer to make a sample from an old song, what sample would you want it to be on a drill beat?
Like an old song,
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as like favorite samples, I don't know. Like I fuck with Ashanti. She got a beautiful voice and shit. So anything with her voice in the background, I go with that. For me, and yeah, anything with her for me. I don't know. I don't know no specific shit.
Are you a big fan of the sample drill right now, or?
Yeah, got it right now. Like that should help me tap into like another side for me. Like so, I fuck with the sample drill.
You think it's gonna last a really long time, or you think it might?
It's gonna last as long as we keep it going. For me, as long as we keep producing good shit with it, it's gonna last. For me, if niggas just start doing anything with the samples, niggas gonna run into the ground.
You know, and how would you want to describe your sound? You know what I'm saying? When people, they're like, oh, you sound like this, but what do you decide? Like, this is how I sound like. Is what to me?
I don't know. I think I describe my sound as like aggressive, or like you don't even gotta say aggressive. It could just be serious. For me, like I mean business. That's it.
All right. And all these rappers coming up, you know, why should people tune into KALIQ? Like, why should the fans be like, you know, I don't want to listen to him. I need to listen to KALIQ all the time. Like, why should fans do that?
I'm gonna bring a different vibe every time. For me, every time I drop, I bring something new to the table. I got mad shit I ain't hear yet. So I Get Ugly. That's about to drop. That's a whole different vibe for me.
Different.
Niggas gonna see though.
Okay, what type of vibe is it? If you can give a little bit of the fans.
That shit just it's still drill. Like I'm still on some serious shit, but it's like more like personal for me. Like I get more personal with that shit.
And do you always want to continue doing drill, or do you want to tap into like different lanes, different sounds?
For me, when I first started rapping, I wasn't doing drill. I had went through writer's block for a period of time, and then I stumbled on drill for me, and then I started playing with the shit. I'm like, nah, this shit wavy. So I just kept the shit going for me.
And you know, how do you deal with writer's block? You just spoke about writer's block. How do you deal with it? You know, saying like, how do you keep going, not lose motivation, not lose focus, and just be tunnel vision, keep going as a rapper?
See, you feel me? I fake get writer's block when I start trying to force myself to like write. Feel me? Like, so you just gotta take your time, let it come to you. Feel me? When you get in that zone, and it's time to produce. That's what you do. Feel me?
Right. And you know, so much music coming soon. You keep explaining it like, oh, I got all this heat coming through. Are you planning to drop a tape before the year, or EP, or just singles throughout the rest of the year?
I mean, I won't take nothing off the table. For me, an EP, I definitely want to do that. I just don't know if I'm gonna do it within this year or when next year starts. But I definitely want to do an EP.
And if you do an EP, let's say it was be this year or next year, is it gonna be solo, or you gonna have a feature on there?
I might have a couple features from the gang and shit, Marzo, shit. For me, you never know who you could expect.
And speaking of the features, one of the songs you have with K Flock. He's from Bronx, you're from Brooklyn. How did that link up happen? How did you met K Flock? Like, how did that song came up? Panic.
Shout out my manager, Suave, and my son JD. They both came together to make that shit happen for me. Like, JD, a mutual friend. Everybody, like, my son JD tapped in and shit. So that's how we linked up. Shout out Flock too.
And how did you get, how did you make Suave your manager? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did that happen? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, bro went to school with me. Like, this my man's for this manager shit. Like, it's my brother for me. So, like, he just see me with the rap shit for me. Like, fuck it. Like,
did he
let's
come
take
up,
this shit somewhere.
where did he come up to you? Was like, I want to be your manager? Or like, you looked at him and was like, nah, bro, I think you should be my manager.
Kind of like we just drifted towards each other. For me, like, I was just making music, and then like one day, like, he's like, "Oh, you could do this for me," and then we just started working together and shit. For me, it was never no like he came to me or I came to him. It was just like drifted together for me.
All right. And with the rap is like, are you planning to do any performances soon, or are you still just chilling right now? All right.
I'm with any of that for me. I do
Performances.
I'm with all of that for me.
What would be the top 3 songs you want to perform? If you had to perform.
I gotta perform "Talk of the Town." I gotta perform "Set in Stone" right here, and then Panic.
Panic. Like K Flock featuring K Flock. What other people would you want to do a song with? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be from New York. It could be anywhere. Who are some of the people you want to be tap in with?
I don't really know. Like, I just be listening to people right now. Like, I don't know, cause like my sound different from niggas. So like, when I think about shit like that, I gotta think about how we gonna sound on the same track. I don't really know. Can't really think of nobody right now.
So do you so when you bump in the car or something, do you always bump yourself, or do you bump other people, or do you just by yourself, only your music? Because a lot of rappers they just bump their own stuff all the time and no one else's. Or do
I bump everybody shit for me. Like, just be on YouTube clicking shit. See what sound good. I bump everything for me.
Do you like listening to drill? I spoke before with drill artists, like they don't like to listen to drill. They only listen to like the melodic stuff. But they make drill, but they only listen to melodic. Do you find yourself in that situation, or do you still listen to the drill music of other people?
Nah, I do. I see what people be saying. The drill shit be getting like tired, like, but I still listen to it. Like, for a big part of my day, I listen to drill. But I vibe with the melodic shit more for me. I definitely word.
All right. And I always ask this question. This is my last question. I always ask this question to everyone. What type of legacy do you want to have with the name KALIQ? When people bring up in the future, KALIQ did this, KALIQ did that. What should people mention right next to your name?
For me, I don't know. As far as the legacy I want to leave, like, I just want niggas to say, like, came in, he fucked shit up for me. Like, he did what he had to do. He put on for Brooklyn for me. I just want niggas to say that.
And is there anything else you want to say to the fans or supporters who's listening to this interview right now when this comes out? You can say it to the camera, anything.
Stream Talk of the Town out now. Get Ugly coming soon for me. Follow me on Instagram, KALIQ.ag. Check out my YouTube, subscribe, all that shit for me.
All right. I think you're
Thumbs
coming
up
through.
for me.